you've got to hit every step. You can't just, it's not an elevator, you can't just punch a button and get there. So he had to just keep climbing step by step, and we did as a team as well. But I think he's been up to that challenge, and obviously I think the results speak for themselves.
You look at some guys who have struggled their rookie year and gone on to be successful, other guys who played very well earlier in their careers and haven't been able to sustain that. Is it difficult to project an NFL quarterback off 1 year, or are there things that you, in general, when you look at a guy, you can say, all right, there's signs here that he can be good, or maybe he's not?
I think that's...
You need a bigger sample size.
That's probably difficult because you're right. There's so many different variables, and things happen along the way. Like I say, we'll get through it, and hopefully we'll, have a good idea for you. But each guy's different. There's like you mentioned, some guys, light it up and then, and struggle for whatever reason. Then some guys are just the opposite of that. It just takes them a little more time. Back in the day, it would take 5 or 6 years. Then you groom a quarterback. Well, that's not the case, obviously, anymore. So. But that position in particular is a tough one to evaluate, and but it is a critical position. I understand that.
When you look back at going into the season with Geno starting from day one, you had to know at the time, because of his inexperience, because of the offense he came from in college, which was different, you had to be thinking to yourself, this is going to be a bumpy ride this year with this guy. Is that kind of how you were feeling it?
Well, we were confident that, and I was confident, and we all were, that, he had a really good training camp, and then he had some moments. Once he had the injury, then it went down. Obviously, we had the bad game against the Giants and things, but we were confident that, if he could regain to what he had in training camp that we all saw, that we'd be okay. And I think that's where we were.
Rex, how would you describe or quantify the learning he's done since he became a Jet and he's been accountable with us on a regular basis and his teammates and also on the field? Is it possible to say this guy has learned this much or describe that learning that he's had?
Well, I think it's been, obviously it'd be, challenging for anybody, but especially put in, when you come here, it's different than going to other clubs, other teams or whatever, because it is, when it's a good thing. The media's, so much more here than it is. Your commitment, it's probably, they could say it's the same, but it's way different, I think, from other teams that I've been around. And I thought he's done a real nice job that way. He's a stand-up guy. But I think as far as his play, he's come a million miles. This is a guy that was in shotgun the whole, his whole time. And, now he had to learn how to take a snap, had to set up 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drops. Learn not just our offense, but trying to learn the defenses as well that he's facing. And obviously that's a great challenge. You're not facing the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots, the New Orleans Saints on defense, in college. You're not. And obviously that's a big adjustment. In fact, we've had a lot of different bodies in there, at receivers. We weren't exactly the healthiest during the year, so that I'm sure has been a challenge. But the young man never flinched. He just keeps going, works every day to get better. Obviously, I think the tutelage that he's had, with David Lee in particular and Marty at, running that show on offense, I think has been spectacular as well.
Because of those things you just said, coming from college where it's a completely different sort of system, the revolving door of receivers, do you kind of grade Geno on a curve then for this first year because of all those challenges?
No, just trying to answer the question. So I haven't graded him on anything yet, but my thing is that has he learned? I think he's learned a great deal, and I think that's that's to be commended, I think.
Rex, with Quentin and the move to play him more in the 3-4, people often think that's just a pass rushing position, but he's done a really good job with containment and setting the edge against the run. Has he exceeded your expectations at that particular part?
No, he hasn't exceeded my expectations. I think he's got more to give.
Yeah.
I think he's, obviously, I like the way he's playing. I think he's playing hard. He's doing those type of things. But I still think he's not to where I think he's, could go. And, and it's just some small things. But through experience, I think he's going to get there. Recognizing blocking patterns a little quicker. Those type of things. It's different when you're playing it in as compared to sometimes outside in space. So those are things that, are a little more challenging, I think. But I think he's done a really good job. I just don't think he's where he's going to be. I really don't. I think he's, his play, he's playing hard. And obviously, guys, he makes plays. I'm not saying he doesn't make plays. He makes a lot of plays and some big plays. But I have a funny feeling he's going to even get better.
Rex, would there be a difference to you that you could describe finishing 8-8, since that's obviously the best you can finish at this point? Is there something to be said for 8 wins as opposed to a losing season? Does that resonate with you at all?
I'd much rather have 8 than have 7. There's no question about that. So, however that is, I definitely rather have 8 wins. No, there's no question. And like I said, we're excited to go there for other reasons. We're going to measure how much we've improved, or have we improved. And I think we'll all see it. And I think that's big. You have a non-losing season. Maybe in the big picture it's one game, but it sure sounds better to be 8-8 than it would be 7-9.
Rex, a lot of people are debating the job you've done here. You may have heard. And when it comes up, I think the biggest criticism people have is that you haven't developed a consistent offense here. Do you think that's a fair criticism?
Well, again, everybody's got a right to their opinion, and that's fine. I think, again, I'd rather focus on the Miami deal and then face that, later. But, I certainly understand how everybody has right to their opinion, and I'm not here to try to, it's not like the Survivor where I'm trying to get their vote or something like that. Hey, you got your opinion, and I'm not here to change it. There's a lot of guys that are, people are, have a great deal of knowledge in the game. That's super. And there's some maybe not quite as much. But hey, fans have the right to have their opinions, and that's one of the beautiful things about about this league and things, especially the positive opinions about me.
Sir, do you have any questions?
No.
Do you have it? Go ahead.
No. I wanted to ask him something away from the room.
The answer is no to that one.
Whatever you can say. You can say it all. You can say it right.
No, if they all close their ears, I can ask you.
All right then.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.